everybody, and welcome to a ball-bustin' wild ride with Steve-O. We've got Gene Simmons from Kiss. He's an absolute legend, and he busts our balls the entire time. Hilarious the way he's just throwing jokes left and right. And, you know, I have a real history with Kiss. From the time I got thrown out of their concert, I got thrown out of his roast. And, I mean, what else, dude? We talk about rock and roll beefs, and we get into all kinds of business stuff. You know, he loves the business stuff. So strap on your seatbelts, folks, and let's get into it. Ladies and gentlemen, people of the universe, I bring to you Gene Simmons.
Yes.
Yeah, dude. My man. Okay, so thank you for doing this.
Sure.
It's a
How old are these goddamn sneakers? What the fuck is that? You're a rich man. What are you doing with these? You wear the same socks for a week, right? Tell me the truth.
Not for a week, but for years. I keep washing them and washing them. It is probably time that
Is this a religious preference? Like what?
I don't know. You know, I had the habit of dropping off my laundry at the what's called the Fluff and Fold. It's the laundromat.
I just drop off the kids at the pool.
And I don't want to make it more difficult for the people who do the laundry at the Fluff and Fold, so I make sure that I have one uniform style of socks so they don't have to search for different ones to match together.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Bullshit.
Right. Okay.
You're a giver.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to take care of the planet and
For sure.
less carbon in your socks or whatever.
Yep.
What's
less.
in detergents? Not carbon, crack. What is it?
What, the BPA? I don't know.
Yeah.
IOU, LSD. You know, just
Oh.
just letters.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get to it because there's some good eating in there.
Yeah, there is. We are parked outside of Gene's restaurant called Rock and Brews.
Rock and Brews. You know, I have an inferred fiduciary duty, so here's one of our versions of the logos, and we have we're almost next door to LAX, but
There's
inside
one
of
in LAX too, right?
we have two at LAX, which are the number 1 and number 2 restaurants in any airport. And then we have 30 others across America and 3 to 5 casinos so far. Rock and Blues casinos, more coming along the way, yeah.
What's your favorite meal that they serve?
Well, you know, I was a ground-breaking member. That meant, you know, when we first broke ground, literally, these are semantics, but I'm not anti-semantic. So I was there a few years ago breaking ground, and we all paid close attention, and it's a very good question, to not okay, here's the menu, but what is it that people want? Same things, like what do you like, what do you like, what do you like? And because it's a people's palace in essence. We all grew up with rock, and so this is the soundtrack of our lives, all your favorite bands, that's why it's all, you know, stuff is all over the place, the music that you grew up with and everything. So if you want to watch your girlish figure, well, not you so much, but if you want to watch your girlish figure, not you so much.
Yeah, been,
Yeah, probably. You can have salads that are ginormous or, you know, all that stuff. And then you can have burgers the size of your mom's ass, you know, just big, fluffy,
Yeah.
big, fluffy things. And then we have pretzels, which are ginormous. You can't finish it. They're just awfully big. And everything in between. Look at the size of that baby.
Yeah.
It's like the size of my mom's ass.
It's ginormous. And they're all beer soaked. And for those that like to take a swig of elixir, you can actually taste test anywhere from 50 to 100 craft beers. So we support local breweries across the country, wherever our rock and brews are. We got local breweries, so the beers are fresh right off the tap, so you can taste them. And some people just come in to taste test the stuff. As a matter of fact, a few miles down the road in Redondo Beach, we have a huge Rock and Brews, completely open, can seat up anywhere from 750 to 1,000 customers at once. That might be what? No, that's the El Segundo one. That's where we are now. And over there, you can pre-order the beer, so at the table you can pour.
Oh,
pour
wow.
your own.
Oh, that's cool.
You got
dangerous.
the actual keg at
How
the
far
table.
is it? Did you say?
No, I said that's dangerous. Pour your own beer.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah, that's all I got.
What does it do on the show?
He's, there are people who ask that very question, but, he's really good a lot of the time.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Now,
I don't know what for, but
I want to tell you about this. We have a bunch of history.
where did you get this voice? Like when you were born, did you cry with the same voice, or did
I
it
don't know.
develop later on in life?
I genuinely don't know the answer to that
You
question.
haven't had. What's your name? You don't recall a time when you had a different voice?
To see video of me from decades ago, it does seem a little bit different, but there was also kind of the same thing going on.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. Now, I don't know how much you know about our history. I'm sure you remember some things.
Well, I remember somebody at my roast
Yeah.
pissing into God knows what, and they had to be thrown out.
Yeah, I was thrown out of the Gene Simmons roast. And
I don't know what you took anything that anybody had and just ingested it.
Yeah, that was a tough time in my
And
life.
I think that's you pulling your dick out.
yeah. It was a tough time in my life.
Oh, I see. You're peeing in the Coke bottle or something.
Yeah, it looks like I'm peeing into a soda can, which I then proceeded to
It's
smoke
that
marijuana
small?
out of. It's a tough one.
Because the pee holes like
That was 2007, and I got clean and sober in 2008. Yeah,
You're talking to a guy that's never been high or drunk
we
or
are
smoked
aware.
cigarettes in my life.
We are aware. But the history goes way back further, and there's no way that you would know any of this. So let me just run through it very quickly. In first grade,
You're a crack addict at first grade?
I went to first grade with a Kiss lunchbox.
I'm so sorry.
I pride myself on that, because when you're 5, 6 years old,
Did you pay for it or did you steal it?
I'm sure that my parents got it for me. They knew that.
Mom and Dad still good?
I lost my mom. My dad's
Oh,
doing
so
great.
sorry.
Well, that's what happens. That is what happens. Then when I was 11 years old, I was you for Halloween.
Wow.
Yeah, look at that. My sister did my makeup. That's me at 11 years
Oh,
old.
I thought she was doing something with your butt. What's
Yeah,
going
it
on?
does. It does look
Yeah,
that
it
way
looks
too.
like her fist is about either coming out or going in. Am I making it up?
Right. Nope, you're not making that up.
You're allowed to talk.
There's one hidden hand in there.
Yeah. Let's see the end result. How about
That's
that?
good. That's you're on your toes. You're on.
Yeah. It's great. Now,
What is that thing you're holding? Oh, a rack.
tennis racket.
Tennis racket. Yeah.
Fashioned into a guitar.
You're not a bad-looking human being. You clean up okay there.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Now, I want you to. I'm curious if you would be familiar with this image. I have a painting on the wall in my house, which it's the 4 Beatles, but the Beatles are all wearing Kiss makeup. Are you familiar with that?
There's a good story behind this. This was 1 block away. It's a very famous graffiti where the Louvre is, Louvre in France, the famous museum. You cross the street and it's on the wall. So that's been there for decades, and people took photos of it and made T-shirts. But yes, I know this.
Yeah. They show the other one. You see, it's right there. That's my kitchen in Tennessee.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you moved to Tennessee because of the tax situation.
That is
Beneficial
one of the perks.
tax. Is that right?
One of the perks. I also wanted to have a ton of land to open up
Oh,
an
you
animal
can buy-
sanctuary.
You can buy
Acres.
land the size of Wisconsin for 15 cents. Just Amazing and gorgeous land.
Gorgeous land.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm in love with it. I wasn't even quite prepared for the extent to which I would be in love with it. But yeah, this is not a rare item. I'm guessing that it's been reproduced many times. Is that something that you would have profit participation in when it's sold?
Unfortunately, not. The street artist and all that who came up with that is somewhere hiding.
Yeah. Okay. Now, some other great history. In 1996.
Maybe it was 1896.
Nope, 1996, at a Kiss concert in
Back again
Albuquerque, New
to
Mexico.
the dick with the
Yeah, with the penis, Isaac, already. 1996, there was a Kiss concert in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I might be off. It might have been the beginning of 1997. But I was thrown out of the Kiss concert.
What did you do then?
I smuggled into it a bottle of flammable liquid.
What?
And I did a fire breathing, like blew a big fireball in the stands.
Did you do okay?
Oh, it was massive. I really pride myself on a massive. These days, I pride myself on making good on the deal that I have with all of you people, which is if you see me in public and you ask me if I've got my fume in my pocket, I pull it out of my pocket, and if it's not in there, then I'll make a shout-out video for you and all your buddies. Of course, candidly, I always have it in my pocket, and I always make the shout-out video anyway because I love you guys, and I love fume. I'm also pride myself on kicking bad habits, which fume is all about. Get one of these. It's a diffusive device which simply flavors air, and we're talking about all kinds of flavors. We've got my favorite new one, cinnamon hearts, spearmint ice, you kidding me? Raspberry lemonade, orange vanilla, maple pepper, white cranberry, sparkling grapefruit, crisp mint, and black licorice. Come on, what flavor do you want? You get this in there and you start kicking your bad habits. Plus, for a limited time, if you go to tryfume.com and use the promo code STEVO, you will get an awesome free gift with your order of a journey pack. I mean, look, if you got that bad habit, then let's kick that habit to the curb, replace it with a good one. And you can support the Wild Ride podcast while you kick that bad habit with all these great flavors. One more time, you go to tryfume.com, where for a limited time with the promo code STEVO, you get a free gift with your journey pack. Now let's get back to it.
This was for Knoxville and all that? Or
No, it was
after?
It was before that.
This is 97?
Oh, before that.
It was before that. Yeah, this is before I even went to Clown College.
Clown College.
Yeah.
You went to Clown College.
I went to Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Clown College.
No kidding.
Yeah.
It's harder to get into than Harvard.
It was statistically.
I don't know what part of this is.
No, we don't. That's not our style. We tell the truth.
I do know about. I do know the Clown College is in Florida. Is
yep,
it not?
Sarasota. Yep, there you go, right there. Ringling Brothers, Barnum and Bailey.
That's fabulous, as they say in L.A.
I graduated in the last class of Clown College. They shut it down after me.
Why?
You know what it was that, like, it's true. It was statistically harder to get into Clown College than Harvard. And with the exhaustive auditioning.
I thought you were kidding.
No. They had 2 units of the Ringling Circus. Each unit.
Two eunuchs?
Unit. Yeah, and each one went to 50 different cities, and then they would swap schedules. So the circus every year was in 100 cities, and in all 100 cities they had auditions for Clown College. And after auditioning thousands and thousands of people, only 33 clowns got in to my class.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and so that exhaustive auditioning process, they really ultimately, the clowns that did get in were insanely talented, and they were paying $300 and some dollars per week, and then making these clowns live in a like 6x3 little closet on a train.
Well, you got me beat, even though it was later when we.
Yeah, there I am on the left. That's me.
So cool. What was the name of your clown?
I was Steve-O the clown.
Okay then.
Yeah. And so I'm interested to ask you about
Well,
your
wait.
makeup.
You're a poor me kind of a story. You were making $300 plus.
But I didn't even get a contract. I was only 10 of the 33 clowns got contracts.
Why? You probably lit them on fire.
I lit a lot of things on fire. Yeah.
Well, hypothetically, if you would have made $300 something a week when we first started in 1804, within a year and a half, we're headlining Anaheim Stadium, and we're there headlining above, oh, God knows, all kinds of bands you would have known about forever, but we just happened really fast. And meantime, I was on $85 a week salary.
From
we
where?
didn't care.
From the music industry?
From the band.
From the band?
From the band.
Because any dollar we were making, there it is, Anaheim Stadium. So, yeah, there's a photo. It was massive, sold out. Well, that's a fake bootlegging thing, but that's real. That was on Sunset Boulevard, and they had all kinds of bands opening for us. Oh, there we go. Ted Nugent, Uriah Heep, Bob Seger, all kinds of bands. Montrose, a lot of bands. And right there, the guy on the right-hand side, $85 a week. We didn't care, though. There was such an amazing... the idea that you didn't have to get up at 7 a.m. in the morning to go shave and eat your cornflakes and then get tortured by public transportation and wind up in the same seat in the same office doing the same thing for the rest of your life was such a relief. You just felt like a rock and roll gypsy. Like this is one of the few ways you can escape and have the time of your life and wake up with a girl whose name you never bothered to learn.
I love it. Now, if I'm hearing you correctly, you're saying that you took an $85 a week salary from the band and all the rest of the money just went back into the band?
That's right.
Right.
All the special effects, it was all self-funded. We didn't borrow anything.
Yeah.
That's right.
And now with the makeup, this is grease paint, I used
Clown.
in clown college. Yeah.
It's clown white.
Yep.
And black, Stein's black.
I think
that's all I use.
It sounds like exactly what I use. Can you look up Stein's grease paint?
Whose idea was it for the makeup?
I have to tell you that nobody can actually. Yeah, there it is. Grease paint. That's exactly what it is.
And then when you get done doing it, you lock it.
There it is.
By putting baby
That's
powder
one of the
on.
classic ones from my era.
Yeah, wow. Okay, that is different than what I used.
Well, it was earlier, probably 20, 30 years before you were thinking about it. But nobody who was ever in KISS can ever lay claim to saying, I've got a brilliant idea. Everybody should put on makeup. Let's wear higher heels and more makeup than your mommy ever did. Nobody did. It just happened. Scientists call it a singularity. It's kind of when you put a group of people together who have no resume, no experience, never achieved anything. Something happened one day in our rat-infested loft in early 1973 or late 72. We're rehearsing some pretty good songs and everything. This is after we had a record for Epic called Wicked Lester, but we didn't like it, so we bought the record back, and it never came out. Let's reform the band. Got rid of the original members because they just weren't rock. We were Anglophiles. We loved Zeppelin and the Beatles and the Stones and all that, and Humble Pie. So started writing songs like that, Strutter, Black Diamond, and all that kind of stuff. And then we looked at each other one day, and I can't for the life of me tell you which one of us said, hey, let's go downstairs to Walgreens, which was half a block away, and let's go buy some makeup, put makeup on our faces. Just like that.
Do you remember how many designs you guys went through before you chose?
That's another good question. We brought back mirrors. They were about this tall, about this wide, $15, and a few of them, and put them against the walls that were covered by egg crates to muffle the sound at our rat-infested loft, which had no windows, at 10 East 23rd Street. And we started putting makeup on, and of course the mirrors would warp, so our faces would look all warped. And we had one shot. The makeup that became, this early, that's not in 1983. They don't have a clue what they're talking about. That's 1974 at the top of the Playboy building on Sunset Boulevard, used to be at that point, where the Playmates used to all stay. And that makeup that you see there pretty much is the makeup that we came up with on day one.
Wow.
How was the reception when you guys did your first show with the makeup? Was it just better than ever?
I have to say that I can't recall paying attention to anything because we were all getting off on each other like, wow. instead of most bands that look at their shoes and I'm going to play a major or a minor here and they do that, and they're just not aware. We were just getting off on each other. In fact, Ace, before he succumbed to all the chemicals and all the other stuff, our drummer Peter, the original one, had Mylar on his drum kit so that when he kicked it, you'd see the thing rattle and all that. Really cheap, smart ideas. And Ace kept bending over and looking at himself in the drum head, laughing his head off. Just getting off on his own thing.
The joke that I never got to tell because I was kicked out of the roast, I was going to say, man, I thought it was hilarious when, I thought it was funny when Kiss took off their makeup, and maybe in the 80s, all of a sudden they did. But man, it was hilarious when they had to put it back on. It was
Pay me again. No problem.
See what I'm saying? It was a funny joke, right? It's like, hey guys, we're gonna need you to put the makeup back on.
The best part of that joke is when you're too rich to give a fuck. It's all good.
Yeah. Right. I mean, I knew that you'd have a great sense of humor about it. And what you just said reminded me of a time when we were filming with David Hasselhoff, filming Wild Boys. We were out on a boat with sharks and stuff.
I was with you and David?
No, you weren't there.
Oh.
But
then why are you telling me this?
Well, David Hasselhoff looked at himself in a mirror. He said, God, I look like shit, but at least I'm rich.
That's right. But Hasselhoff never looked like shit. Trust me. He could go anywhere in the world and...
Yeah, he was always a piece of ass. He was always good looking. He was always good looking.
Always a good looking man.
Yeah. So, with respect to looking great, can you tell me about the Polaroids? And there's a good chance that you know about the legend of Gene Simmons' Polaroid photos, and that just thinking about them is making you aroused. Well, I'll tell you what makes me aroused is Blue Chew tablets, because they've got the same active ingredient as both Viagra and Cialis, except they only cost a fraction of the price, and they're delicious and chewable. And you can get an entire month's supply of Blue Chew tablets if you go to bluechew.com, quickly consult with the medical provider to take care of the prescription right there at bluechew.com, and then you get an entire month's supply of these incredible Blue Chew tablets completely for free. All you pay is $5 for shipping. I mean, it's incredible. If you're wondering whether Blue Chew tablets are a really good time, Take it from me and Lux. They are a really good time. So, one more time, go to bluechew.com and use the promo code STEVO to get an entire month's supply of Blue Chew tablets completely for free. All you pay is $5 for shipping. If you've been thinking about trying it, then it's time to do it. bluechew.com, promo code STEVO. Now let's get back to it. This is the legend of Gene Simmons, that there are thousands of Polaroid photos of women, the conquests. It's just so fascinating.
What about it?
Well, like the Polaroids, is the Polaroid collection
is singular.
Well, I said is the Polaroid collection. Is it still intact? Is it
What actually happened was I got serious about finally the first 29 years of Shannon's and my relationship. We were unmarried, and I was doing anything you could imagine somebody who didn't care about anybody else and was completely self-absorbed, arrogant, and, where are you going? Where am I going? Who wants to know? That kind of thing.
Right.
Even though we had kids and everything, and Shannon, bless her, never backed away. I would have thrown my sorry ass out in a second. So it was no secret, it was no secret that I was carousing. And then when I decided to come clean and get serious with Shannon, we've been together 41 years, but 29 of the first years we were not married. And when I decided to propose to her, I said, got to put all the cards on the table. Let me tell you exactly what happened and all this stuff. And, it wasn't pleasant. I wouldn't trade places with her. And we did us together, we did a public and put it on we had a reality show.
Yeah.
We filmed the burning of the photos.
There we go. Wow.
Yeah, we burned them together. And our show, the Gene Simmons Family Jewels, was 167 episodes in 8 years.
I think that's awesome, man. Like, you're talking to all three of us. We're addicts.
By the way, how long have you guys been a couple? Whatever.
Like 11 years. How'd you come to that realization that you wanted to do that? I mean, after so long, were you just kind of like, fuck, I really, really...
We were filming in Belize it or not. A Central American country that most people have never heard of. Actually, is that me? Was that me over there with the big pot belly? And I mean, a beautiful location and palm trees and all that stuff. And they call it a singularity. Scientists do this kind of thing that comes over you, a feeling or an event where you don't plan it and it's real. And at 62, I'm turning 75 in August. Fuck, I look good. I had this epiphany. I'm probably going to die alone and a miserable old fuck. And the people that I love and care about the most, our kids especially.
Yeah.
Shannon, who never tortured me about getting married and everything. I don't know if they're going to be here. If I was Shannon, I'd remarry and try to find some happiness, while you're alive, instead of having this arrogant, self-absorbed guy just doing whatever he wants to do and not caring about it. And I found myself, kind of never happened to me before because I'm not an emotional guy. My Uncle George, who was my closest family member, died, and I remember feeling sad, but I didn't cry. And I remember dropping to my knees, not even like real hard dropped instead of slowly laying yourself down, just like a knee drop, and looking up at her, and the cameras happened to be filming us because I was supposed to talk about the sunset and everything. And I'm looking up at her and she's looking at me, and there's footage of it. And with a shaky voice and all that, just saying, I don't know what, I can't I can't die alone. I can't live without you. All the things I used to make fun of. I can't live, living is without you. And I'd be the guy that'd say, get out of here. Of course we can. There are always other chicks. But at some point in life, it becomes true.
Wow, man.
You are lucky if you find... You're straight, right? You're lucky if you find, as they say, your soulmate. You never think about those things when you're younger, when you're busy, bang, 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 all this stuff, because it doesn't mean anything, and you're having a lot of fun. That's fine. But what does it mean? Do you miss those people? You never miss anybody. You just say, well, that was good then. Tomorrow's another day. I'll have another salad, a donut, and I'll have that piece of ass over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just bang, bang, bang. But when you can't, if you're lucky and you find that soulmate, you don't want to be around anybody else. And I never thought I would ever, this sounds like a completely different guy than I ever expected to be. I think it's called maturity.
Yeah, wow. I believe personally, for what it's worth, that that it's not about finding the right person, but it's about becoming the right person.
Okay.
I believe that I had to do.
These are semantics, but I'm not anti-semantic.
Yeah. Okay.
Are you writing any of this stuff? Can you write?
I can absolutely write, and
I used to teach 6th grade.
Oh yeah! Wow. What did
Spanish Harlem.
Spanish
Reading,
Harlem.
writing, and arithmetic. The 3 R's.
Okay, I love it. There was
in Spanish Harlem, where on one of the first days you hear the phrase and you don't really know what it means, and then you find out, Buenos dias, maricón latino judeo, and then you learn it doesn't mean good morning, Jewish person. That's not what it.
Right.
Can you speak a little Spanish?
That means good morning, asshole, right?
Maricón latino judeo.
I think maricón is just kind of a general
what?
disparagement.
Marico pendejo is asshole, right?
Pendejo.
Pendejo, yeah.
Puto, all the delicious
yeah,
words.
Yeah, I know puto.
I bet you do.
Speaking of disparaging terms, I seem to recall...
All of a sudden he's using big words like gymnasium.
Yeah. I seem to recall that in the Motley Crue... their famous book, The Dirt.
Yeah.
That Nikki Sixx had less than glowing things to say about you.
Okay.
And I believe that he said something to the effect of Motley Crue would never ever do a show with Gene Simmons because of all the whatever it was he had to say about you. And then not that many years later, it was announced that Motley Crue was going to go on tour with Kiss. And I remember thinking, well, that's, a chink in the integrity a little bit.
I don't know if you can say chink anymore, but that's CHINQUE, I think, or is it CHINC?
Chink in the armor.
That's right.
Yeah.
Is it a CHINC?
We got somebody looking it up.
Can
right
we look
now.
it up? It's CHINC.
It's with
I'm
a K.
right. No, that's wrong. CHINK
Chink
is
in one's
wrong.
armor.
Right.
Cambridge does say that it's CHINK.
I do have a question built
Well, wait a
in
minute,
there.
but for the record, we took out Motley on their first tour.
Right.
Just because we liked, that first indie album they put out.
Yeah,
But we also took Bon Jovi on their first tour, and AC/DC, and Rush, Cheap Trick, and Judas Priest, Iron Maiden, almost anybody that became a huge band. We took them out on their first tours.
Yeah, these are the bands that literally the first tour.
Yeah.
I mean, that's insane.
We like, besides being in a band, we're fans.
Yeah, and if this piece of the Motley Crue, The Dirt, wasn't 100% true, that wouldn't be the only piece.
What's true? What was said?
I can't remember. It was just something to the effect of like Nikki Sixx. He's got a way of kind of saying stuff about people.
That's fine. Not everybody likes Jesus either. I have no problem.
Yeah, I love that. But my question is.
By the way, do you know why all the chicks love Jesus?
Why is that?
Well, he's hung like this. Are you writing these down?
I think I've actually heard that one. And
you think this will get me trouble with the religious?
I don't think so.
Because he's.
How do you like this tattoo I got right here?
I don't like any tattoos. I got.
It's Santa Claus on the cross.
Excellent.
Yeah, I like.
Good luck with that. Do you know that Santa Claus, as we know him, was invented by Coca-Cola?
Oh, I like it.
Why do you ever doubt me? Okay, button, the guy on the computer, would you go up and say on it, no, not who invented, just put in Coca-Cola invents Santa Claus.
Wow.
The version we know, including the, look at it.
Did not.
Hold up, wait.
So
the jolly character we know today.
The legend, but they shaped the jolly character we know today.
Created the entire mythology and the color scheme that we associate the red.
It's the same color as Santa Claus.
That's the colors of Coke.
Yeah, I read that the first thing that you saw when you came to America was an R.J. Reynolds ad of Santa Claus holding up cigarettes.
Can you believe how far we've come as a society? We used to have Santa Claus promoting cigarettes, and people didn't even take care of their mental health. But today, you don't see ads for cigarettes anywhere, do you? And people are in therapy because it's good for their mental health. And that's why I'm glad this episode is brought to you by the good folks of BetterHelp.com. Because they make therapy so easy, so convenient, so affordable. And it's time to do it because they've matched over 3 million people with qualified licensed therapists where you don't even have to go to a doctor's office and you don't have to go anywhere. You can do it online with absolute convenience. And I love to do therapy because it helps me protect the relationship that I have with Lux. I always say it's better to fix the roof before it rains, not try and fix it after it rains. So there's a million different things that you can do in therapy. And if you want to get 10% off your first month, then go to betterhelp.com/Stevo. That's BetterHelp.com/Stevo. For 10% off your first month. I think it's worth it to invest in your mental health, and I'm telling you, I'm glad that I do. So one more time, betterhelp.com/Stevo, and let's get back to it.
True that.
And I was wondering if that was your dad had anything to do with
my dad was a
the,
tobacco
R.J.
CEO.
Santa Claus.
My dad actually worked specifically for R.J. Reynolds Tobacco.
The insidiousness of that was that the tobacco companies knew all this stuff. Okay, there you go.
What, they had Santa Claus marketing the
Camel,
cigarettes?
Winston, that's all R.J. Reynolds.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's became sort of like the good housekeeping seal of approval. The insidiousness of the tobacco companies had them using doctors going, I'm a doctor.
Yeah. Oof. And then
there was
during
a joke
the 80s,
about Prince Albert in a can. What was that joke about?
I don't know. But when the tobacco companies really got kind of outed, it was like the 1980s, and there was no more mystery. Cigarettes definitely cause cancer. They
but that doesn't
kill
stop
you.
anybody. Nah.
It scared the tobacco companies enough that the tobacco companies started buying up
but
food
that's just because
companies.
they would get taxed and schmaxed and all that stuff. Otherwise, on their own, they wouldn't care. Just like car companies count on a certain number of deaths in cars that are not quite safe enough because it's more expensive, so they leave it in there and they factor in how much the suits and the settlement are going to be versus upgrading the cars so that they're really safe. It's really frightening information, and it's just the nature of stuff.
Yeah. All right.
Well, and have a nice day after this.
Now, I wanted to touch on something that I believe that we have in common.
You're Jewish?
Promoting merchandise is a big part of your thing. Do you get criticized for always trying to sell something to your fans?
Life is business. I don't know how plainer to say it. You walk by the old-fashioned grocery store, and there's an apple cart, and one or set of apples that are $1 each, and next to them is apples for 5 cents. Which one's a better apple?
Well,
The one you buy.
No, that's not what marketing tells you.
well, if it's apples and apples,
Marketing
so to
tells
speak.
you it's always the more expensive one. Perception is reality.
Yeah.
So prices of things are just made up on the spot anyway. It's not based on anything except obviously the profit margin. No, but the perception, especially women, who account for 80% of all things sold. Did you know that?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of frightening.
Wow.
So,
Wow, that's
yeah,
crazy.
80%. All right, do you have a girlfriend? Do you live with her?
I do. I have a wife.
Yeah, wife. Do you have curtains?
I have curtains.
Who decided?
They were actually there when we got the place.
Okay, tricky Dicky. trying to make a point. You have furniture in the house?
Yes,
Who decided?
she did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have a car?
Yes,
Who decided?
that one was me.
How did you decide?
I just bought it.
She doesn't have a license.
He wanted the same car that both of us drive.
You're still married.
Yeah.
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 No, almost everything you make, because we don't need a lot. Look at this poor prick over here. Same. When he was 14, he had these socks on.
Yeah.
It's in those photos that you saw.
I'm glad that this is healing for me, Gene, because I get criticized for.
Why do you care, by the way?
It's a really darn good question. You know, but I think I gotta embrace my role as the Gene Simmons of Jackass. I'm the guy always saying, go to stevo.com and buy my merch.
Why wouldn't you do that?
It's a great
Yeah,
question.
you're in the money making business. Just
I
make
know,
some
yeah,
money.
it's like,
Everybody is. The hippiest hippie band, when they play live, sell tickets.
yeah,
They're in the Kiss business. If you're a church, even God passes the hat around.
yeah.
Everything is based around money.
Yeah.
Once upon a time, there was Kiss condoms, right?
Yeah, there still are.
There still are.
They're Kiss condoms. They're Kiss caskets.
Kiss casket.
Yeah,
We'll
I knew,
get
I
to
knew
get
that
one.
one. Yeah.
Wait
yeah,
for
yeah.
the punchline. We'll get you coming and we'll get you going.
Whose idea was the Kiss casket?
Because Steve tried making condoms at one point, right? And
Yeah, but the condoms would have been fine.
I swear to you, can you go to the Kiss condoms? What I promise you is true, which is my Kiss condom. Okay, go. Wait, you go back to the previous page.
Yeah.
Oh, right there. I'm pointing to it. Can
He's
you see
put
it?
third
Oh,
one- third
wow,
one from
and
the
Make
right.
that
tongue.
make that as big as possible. Close in on the yeah. Okay, so the unfurled tongue. I don't know where he's going.
Okay.
Okay, that's good enough. The unfurled Gene Simmons tongue is actually printed on the condom, which was never allowed by the FDA and the FYZ and the PCA and the IOU, but the way we got around it is the printing is on the inside. So the more manly you are and the more you can fill the girth and the thing, the more that tongue unfurls to its full rigor.
that's amazing.
Man, that's epic.
So my face and my tongue have been in more females than
Yeah.
in actual fact.
Yeah.
Speaking of Kiss merch, sorry to cut you off.
Go for
Speaking
it.
of Kiss merch, in the 70s there was a Kiss comic book.
You
And
are
there's-
allowed to speak up.
Okay, in the 70s there was a Kiss comic book, and the rumor is
There continued to be throughout, even to the present day.
okay,
Kiss blood?
yeah, the Kiss blood, and I'm hoping you say it's true.
Absolutely true. What happened was, I called Stanley Lieber, a member of the tribe. There we go. That's right there on top. And that first 1977 one is 4,200. It's much more because that's used and a little wrinkled, but it's much more today. And I'm the guy that spoke to him about, doing the comic book, because I'm a major comic book geek. Even today, I know more than you'd ever want to know about this stuff. When I was 13, I used to call the office and torture Flo Steinberg, his secretary. Is Stan in? No, Gene, he's not in. Oh, come on, let me speak to him because I got to talk. What do you want to talk to him about? Well, I was thinking, why wouldn't Spider-Man team up with the Hulk to, okay, I'll let him know. Yeah, but put him on the phone. I just want to talk to him. No, he's got to put out 13 comic books this month. Yeah, I know, but I just want to talk to him for a little while. You know what I was thinking, Flo? Just like that. And she went to the hardware store and had her name imprinted, on a plaque kind of a thing, and bought a rope so that she put that right over her office, and the next time I called, she can hang her Jewish ass on it, and here lies Flo, because this little prick wouldn't stop calling her. So I convinced him that the Kiss comic book should be $1.50 and not a 25-cent comic book. By that time, comic books became 25 cents. And he actually asked me, why would I do that? Less comics will be sold and all this kind of stuff, because they'll, I said, no, you don't understand. Many of our fans actually don't read comic books, and comic books are smaller. They have their own racks, but they do read rock magazines, Rock This and Rock Scene and all this kind of stuff.
Magazine.
And Circus Magazine. So they have that format, and they have their own racks in the stores. So we want to look like a magazine, but be a comic book and be in that price range. And he turned to me and said, young man, that is genius. I've never heard that put that, but you're completely right. And they started doing larger sized annuals in magazine formats. And so one of our guys in the office, I can't take credit, came up with the idea, hey, why don't we fly up to Boston, Albany, Albany, upstate, and draw blood and put it in the ink, the red ink of the comic books, so that our DNA would actually be in the comic books, so that when we become extinct and aliens finally land on this planet, they can literally recreate humanity. You're welcome, Earth.
That's so cool.
So there's footage of Stanley and the rest of us flying up to Albany and drawing blood and pouring it into the red ink. There we go. There's that photo. Yeah. And Stan is looking on like, what are these guys doing? Yeah.
Fantastic. Is there still a business relationship with Marvel?
I thought you were going to say Stan. I was going to give you the sad news.
No, I guess it would be with Disney at this point.
Before Stan passed, I also had the idea of Kiss meets the X-Men, and convinced Stan to write the dialogue for $250 to a story I came up with a writer, and that came out as a $10 comic book, Kiss meets the X-Men. Do you have that? There you go, on the left, Kiss Nation. Yeah, $10.
How many comic books are you selling at this point? Quite a bit?
The very first Kiss comic book that came out in 1977 as a $1.50 magazine, when the rest of the books were 25 cents, was the largest selling comic book of all time until that time. And then we had a second issue, and then corporate came over and said, well, of course we have to own the contents, whatever. I said, well, you can't own anything. We own the trademarks and everything. You can, license it. Yeah. That's right. So for this area, you participate. In no other areas. They said, no, we have to own it. I said, how about if I buy Marvel and you can go pick up some sandwiches for me? Would you like that? Yeah, so it didn't work out. So we left and went to Image Comics, Todd McFarlane. We did 33 issues of Kiss Psycho Circus, which were very successful and very big. And then an album resulted from that, Kiss Psycho Circus. There you go. and there's the first issue. You don't have enough time.
So, am I hearing you correctly that the Marvel Kiss comics were sold, reaching record sales before the conversation happened about how the money was going to be split with Marvel?
I didn't understand the question.
You said that this ownership dispute came after all the sales had happened.
No. The corporate kept torturing us about, we have to own the copyright and all this stuff. Well, you can, vis-a-vis the format it takes place in, which is Kiss Comics, and we have a profit participation and all that stuff. But anything above, outside, and beyond, that's not going to happen.
Right, okay. So, they wanted to own Kiss.
Yeah.
Right, that's not going to
And
work.
we were going to have I got a Canadian company, Nelvana, very successful at the time, to do a Kiss animated series. And the company was called Nelvana, and they said, well, because we're a French-Canadian company and you're getting French-Canadian tax incentives, we have to own the thing. I said, no, that's not going to, you can't own anything. I said, well, we have to own it. So I came up with my own show based loosely on that called My Dad, the Rock Star. Can you put that up there, young man? You're pretty good. He spells
He's really good.
My Dad, the Rock Star. And that was sold to, there you go. See, and on the bottom it says executive produced and created by Gene Simmons. See that?
Nice.
I'm kind of a big deal, Steve-O.
So
What does the O stand? What are you, Irish?
No, it doesn't stand for anything.
Okay.
Nothing.
All right.
Yeah. This right here, this cartoon. Now, I remember when I was 12 years old. Big fan of you in the movies. I remember the movie Target. I remember the movie Trick or Treat. It was like Am I missing a bunch of movies?
It was the very first one I did was Runaway.
Oh, Runaway. So that's Runaway is the one I'm thinking was Target, but
No, it's Runaway.
Yeah, Runaway. Yeah, okay, I remember it.
Michael Crichton, who was 6'9", who created ER, Jurassic Park, and just a lot of stuff, was actually a surgeon, brain surgeon. He's got a new book that we just bought. At any rate, he wanted a bad guy opposite Tom Selleck, who was making a movie. I'd never met Tom, and I was at the time drilling his assistant, a beautiful girl. So he's looking around, for bad guys, and she says, I know this guy, the guy in Kiss, the guy that sticks his tongue out. He would be great as Luthor, the bad guy. And I was just down the street at the Sunset Marquee, and I get a call, Michael Crichton wants to meet you. So I came in the office and pretended like I didn't know her. Oh, hello, nice to see you. See how smart I am? And he came out and he was towering over me. I'm 6'2". He was just like way up there. Says, hello, Mr. Simmons. I'm Michael Crichton. I'm doing this. And I knew who he was. He did The Great Train Robbery and just lots of great films. Write him, direct him, does it all. And in essence, he said, stare into my face, look into my eyes, and give me the sense, you're going to have to, that you're going to cut off my head and shit down my neck. That, like, be badass. Without making faces, just in your eyes. So he gave me a few seconds, and he looked into my eyes. I looked into his eyes, and I was thinking of a juicy jelly donut. And he said, you got the job. I don't have a friendly face. I'm aware of that.
Keep scrolling down, Isaac.
Yeah. Depends how often you worship Satan. That's
Trick or Treat. There's that one. Man, what a great one that was. Runaway.
Miami Vice, I was the bad guy on the debut 2-hour special.
God, this filmography
Then there was Wanted.
is
Then there was
fantastic.
Wanted, Dead or Alive, opposite Rutger Hauer,
Yeah.
where I was a bad guy. I'm always a bad guy. The Hitcher was actually an interesting Canadian TV series that, yeah.
The Hitcher was a Rutger Hauer movie.
Different. You're correct. But before the Hitcher Rutger Hauer movie, there was a series on HBO called The Hitcher, No Relation.
All right. Okay. Now,
Wish You Were Dead. That was an indie film. I forget about The New Guy. I forget about all these movies I was in.
Can I ask you?
No.
Do you have a relationship, a friendship with Craig Gass, the comedian who does such the fantastic impression of you?
I tolerate the prick.
You got to give him. Like,
I want to tell you a very sad story, but also funny. So I'm driving in my car, truck, whatever it was, and I happened to tune into Howard. When it was first coming in, I had not the stereo, the satellite thing.
Sirius XM.
Just as it was starting, and poor Suzanne Summers had, who I knew before, had come down and became very sick, sadly. And she was on Stern to talk about it. And the whole thing was somber, and, I was expecting Howard to do what he does and be Howard. And so sorry about the big seat. He goes, no, it's okay. I'm dealing with it, and just have, do whatever you got to do and enjoy life every day, positivity and all that. And Howard says, excuse me 1 second, we've got a phone call coming in from one of your friends. He wants to wish you well. And you actually hear it, and he goes, hey, put it on the air. And all of a sudden you hear, Suzanne, it's Gene. She goes, oh my goodness, Gene, how are you? Nice to see you. Yeah, haven't seen you in a while. Gee, I heard what happened to you. And she's going, and I'm listening, and I'm hearing this, and I hear my voice. And she says, so where are you? Oh, I'm in Beverly Hills and everything. I heard what happened to you, and no, it's okay, it's okay. Yeah, and I want to send you a gift. Well, she said, it's not necessary or anything. No. Because you're sick, I want to send you
the casket,
a Kiss lunchbox. And after that, my phone was off the hook. Messages, you prick, you motherfucker, you Christ-killing motherfucker. Yeah, I didn't hear the end of it. And I finally cornered him. I said, the hell did you do? People said, you
cornered Howard
of course,
or Craig?
No, what's that? No, Howard, no. Cornered Craig.
Gass. Yeah.
The hell did you do? He goes, what do you mean, what do I do? That's what I do. Everybody knew it wasn't you. I said, nope. No, they didn't.
Yeah, I mean, you would think that they would want to reveal that it was fake and be pretty clear about that. I was on a radio show one time, and Craig Gass doesn't just do Gene Simmons impersonations.
What?
He he does a really phenomenal
Pacino.
Tom Arnold.
Oh.
Tom Arnold. And so I'm on this radio show. The Mike
nobody
Calta show.
does Tom Arnold, not even Roseanne.
That's the best one so far, Gene. And so we got this call, and he called into the radio station talking to me on the air as Tom Arnold, just having relapsed.
Oh, wow.
Like, man, I'm just not doing good. I'm not doing good. And he took it so far, and he had me like 100% of the way. And that was made clear that it was not real. This upsets me that they did that and had people turn their ire towards you.
Things happen, and then you die. That's all you get. Yeah. That's all there is.
Yeah, wow.
You can't be upset about anything.
I got to be more like Gene Simmons, man.
Yeah.
I got to stop with the
telling you, the
sensitivity.
secret of life is you have your health, relatively speaking.
Yeah.
Your schmeckle works.
Yeah.
And then you die. That's all you get.
That's all there is.
I'm telling you.
By the way, life without a good schmeckle, You may as well crawl underground.
Yeah. He's got a great schmeckle.
You know, I don't want to. I don't.
That's why I wear shorts.
Does the schmeckle match the tongue, Gene?
It does have a spin and dry cycle, and it can whip up a good goddamn froth. But why the fuck do you want to know?
It's a good question. It's a good question. I don't necessarily.
But write all that because that's very clever. A spin and dry cycle, and it can whip up a good goddamn froth. You should say it in that way.
Nice.
Because I have.
Okay,
So-
now, I heard you. I believe.
Your
Correct me
hearing's
if I'm
good?
wrong. Yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think I heard you really, really being a proponent of cryptocurrency.
Oh, yes, I've done very well. I bought millions when Bitcoin was around 10,000 and Ethereum was around right around 1,000. That's true. I do own.
Yeah. God.
What do you like about it? Just the idea of a new currency.
Well, here is the sad truth. At some point, the United States government went off the gold standard, which meant, for
72.
people that don't know, the dollar was based in some capacity on the value of gold. Now, by the way, gold is completely useless. It's too soft a metal to do anything with. But we all agreed, similar to Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, that this yellow object, they all want me. What's going on? Okay. That this has value because women like it. That's the only reason.
Jewelry.
Yeah, we wouldn't mind it. We wouldn't do anything with it if women didn't care about it. And of course, if we don't curry the favor of women, we don't have new generations.
Yeah.
At any rate, the government then just started printing the dollar. It's $1 trillion here, $1 trillion you need there, and this country needs money, and that country needs money, and they just keep rolling it. So now, when Clinton was in charge, not because of him, the confluence, congruence, and other big words, e-commerce happened at the same time. You know, there's the real estate, all was positivity. So the GDP was balanced. There was no debt, literally. Since then, not too long ago, a few decades ago, we're something like $33 trillion.
Not including unfunded liabilities. So it's actually
very well done. And that means all we're doing is kicking the can down the road, and our children, our grandchildren, are going to have to be paying for this in future dollars,
For sure.
which are going to be worth less and less because inflation keeps going more and more. So when I was a kid, I used to be able to go to see 3 movies and 3 cartoons, 29 cents. Now you can't get blown for less than. I'm sorry, that's not what I meant to say. My Tourette's kicked in. That's my favorite artist, by the way, Tourette's-Lautrec. So see, like the brain. I give you gold right here. So, what do you do? Well, you spread the risk. You don't bet on 28 black when you go to Las Vegas. You spread the risk. So if you have ancillary other funding, you don't need money. In other words, they use fancy words, capital and gains. It's a bullshit. It's money, profit, money. The funding it's money. So if you're lucky to have your rent paid, or if you own your own house and your bills paid and all that other stuff is play money after insurance and after enough food to eat and take care of your family. The rest is play money. Well, what are you going to do with it? Well, you should probably spread the risk. Real estate, save it for a rainy day, money markets, IRA, the Roth IRA, do some things like that. And then with a certain percentage, play money. So I decided to do research on Bitcoin, which I was just starting to hear about it. What the hell is that? So I called up Tyler Winklevoss and asked him, can you please give me a little tutorial or 3-torial? See what I just did there? And he did. He was kind enough to just say, it's a difficult thing to put into words, but only people decide the value of this, not a government agency. And you can't make more than the 22
Satoshis.
No, then there's a certain limit.
21 million Bitcoins in existence.
See, he's talking about Satoshi Nakamoto, this guy, mythical guy who may exist or not, but there's only a certain amount. There you go. Total BT in existence is 19,727,000, blah, blah, blah. How many dollars are there in existence? Literally no end. Infinite. Because they keep making as many as you need. Based on what? So the value of things keeps going down. When I was a kid, you could buy a Volkswagen station, the wagon, the big wagons, for $3,000.
Yeah.
And college students lived in them and stuff. Literally, not even a joke. When I take business people out, lunch is $3,000. They get their champagne, they get their back rub and a hot fudge sundae and a blowjob, and it's $3,000.
That's how you get so many deals done.
That's exactly right. The hot fudge sundae does it every time. So I bought millions of dollars of thing, and plus played around with Litecoin, Filecoin, quite a few others. So about 14 of them. And since then, traded and did well. Dogecoin, I got 300% on that. All the rest of them except Bitcoin and Ethereum. I'm what's called a hodler, HODLER. It's fancy, stupid language that the crypto community refuses to change. Just we're different than the rest of you morons. That's really what it's about. It comes from the word hold, HOLD. So instead of hold, they want to spell it HODL.
Yeah.
Steve, they're saying that we have a couple more minutes.
All right.
Yeah.
All I want to know, is
your legs with the tattoos on. It's very disturbing.
You don't like tattoos.
I didn't see the back.
all I want to know. You've always done your own makeup.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
We always have, and all of us always did.
Yeah, I mean, as did I. It would be ridiculous for someone else.
So when
to
you
put on
were
my clown
12
makeup.
or whatever, you put your own makeup on.
No, that was my sister did that when I was 12. But as a clown, of course, I always did my own makeup.
Yes, clowns do.
Right.
Did you know that clowns also are one of the few areas where you can actually trademark your face?
Yeah.
Real people cannot,
Yep.
by virtue of trademark law, trademark their face.
Yep.
So Johnny Carson or whoever, Tom Jones, whoever, you can't trademark your face because it's
I kind of
generic.
think you don't have to, though.
Excuse me?
I don't think you have to trademark your face. Your name and likeness is something that you have the rights to.
You get nowhere near as much protection because even...
Yeah, when someone takes a photo, the person who took the photo owns it.
Yes.
Yeah, so that is a problem. How long does it take you to do the kiss makeup?
Mine has always taken the longest, about 2 hours.
No way. Really?
Yeah, because there were different layers of it. First, I put on the white. Then I draw the... And there are tutorials. I showed everybody. My daughter was asked by Cosmopolitan, how does your dad put on makeup? So you can go to... Can you go, button pusher? Can you go to Cosmopolitan, Gene Simmons, Sophie Simmons? There it is. So you can look at a tutorial from step one where I show everybody. She goes, hi, my dad is weird. How about yours? And
so really 2 hours every time.
Yeah, so I show them you put a layer first and then outline the makeup, which is all filled with white. Then you got to take the white off.
Yeah, with
then
Q-tip.
You got to powder it on.
Yeah.
And then you got to take a wet noodle. No, a wet. What is it? Those falsies that take them out instead.
Sponge.
Sponge. That's it. That's what falsies are, right? They're sponges. So you dip it in water and kind of like bake in the areas, and then you got to fill in the black inside the makeup. Then you got to powder that, take off the powder, then water that again, then reapply the black on top of the black. Mine always took the longest. Paul was always the fastest.
That makes sense.
Because he had 1 star. By the way, originally it was supposed to be 2 stars, and he was afraid he wouldn't be able to match the stars, and also he said because he was lazy, so he settled on 1 star and his mom's shade of red lipstick. I don't know, but he decided on red lipstick.
And 2 hours, man. That's a lot. That's a lot. So every show, man. Now you only tour with the Gene Simmons Band?
Yes, Gene Simmons Band is already headlined. Oh, goodness, we were in South America, Sao Paulo. We say San Paulo, but it's wrong. If you put in Gene Simmons Band, Sao Paulo, you'll see footage and schmootage and all that. There we go.
Yeah. That's great. So
we're going to Europe to headline festivals and other stuff, and just having a lot of fun. By the way, I designed a business model that is just semi-genius. I show up with my guitar pick. That's it. There's no manager, no roadies, no trucks, no equipment. Everything is provided by the promoter. The flights, the hotels, all the amplifiers, the drums. It's all, everything is rented locally. That's the promoter's cost, and whatever 6-figure or more amount there is, I pocket. I hate that when that happens.
That's fantastic.
And I literally make more money per gig being Gene Simmons and the Gene Simmons Band than I did in Kiss. Wow. Not counting the ancillaries and all that, because you don't have 60-man crew, 3 double-deckers, private jet that's on call 7 days a week, and 20 to 24 tractor trailers.
Man,
to carry all the condoms.
And to take off
you shouldn't start something you're not going to finish, big boy.
To take off your grease paint, what do you use, or what did you use?
It used to be Pond's cream. You know, the thing that chicks put on their face. It's all nonsense. Just use soap and water. But you know, the moisturizer and schmoisturizer, all that other stuff. Yeah, there you go. Pond's.
In clown college, they taught us to use baby oil to take off our grease paint. But I found shampoo works way better.
I got rid of that and used this much later on. Found this alcohol-based thing which dissolved the stuff pretty fast. You just mush it in and then use soap and water and it's gone.
Yeah. All right. Well, we gotta wrap it up.
I have one last question.
I never touched her.
So we had Sebastian Bach on the podcast a while back.
Oh my God!
And he invited us into his house, and he showed us his
very
impressive.
You to my house?
To his house.
His house.
Yes, and he showed us his very impressive Kiss collection of memorabilia. Do you collect anything the way people collect your memorabilia?
Yes, I may have the largest collection. Have been
of
collecting
Polaroids.
By the way, I just from a good person to another person, the photos I have of you with farm animals, I will never.
Good. Appreciate it.
I will never, because these things are squirming. And, I will never see your glasses fog up and.
Are you laughing? Yeah, she's good.
Yeah.
She's been.
And you just, the legs are. The part is when you're
Yeah.
I'm trying to explain because I know you're slow. Yeah. I forgot what I was going to
Comic.
say.
You have a big
Collection.
Yes, so
He likes to collect money.
licensing and merchandising. And, no, you have to do something with money. Collecting it, inflation is like the
Right.
piranhas eating away at it. You can't. Still waters get rotten. You got to keep the money moving, otherwise it gets depleted slowly, but still nonetheless. So I kept buying and selling houses. We have 5 or 6 houses, Vancouver, Malibu Mountain, just all over the place. And as I was getting rid of the this big monster that I had on Benedict Canyon in Beverly Hills, where the collection was. I don't think you were ever up there, right?
I don't think so, no.
No, I don't think so. You
Well,
wouldn't
I
remember?
definitely was not. Yeah, I definitely was not. You're right. That was misleading.
What's your name?
Stephen with a PH.
So, took all that stuff, and it's at the Rio Hotel. You can go there. It's called Kiss World. It'll blow your mind like nothing you've ever seen. Nobody, but I mean nobody other than Disney has that amount. Over 10,000. Yeah, go to Kiss World, Las Vegas, and images. Keep going.
You let them borrow it, or they bought it from you, or are you licensed?
No, it's all mine.
How often are the KISS conventions? Are they still happening?
Oh, yeah, around the world. See, that's the entrance way. There's red carpet. Those are all my gold and platinum records, hundreds and hundreds. Can you put in Gene Simmons collection at Kiss World? Gene Simmons collection, Kiss World. Yeah, that'll come up. Yeah, these photos are way. So it goes way, way back. There's over 10,000 items in there, easy.
That's epic.
Yeah.
I think that when Vinny asked, he was asking, like, do you collect any other people's shit? And you're like, nah, dude, I collect my own shit. Which is just completely epic.
Well, you have an inferred duty, inferred fiduciary duty, otherwise, all kinds of other words, but to thine own self be true. Be your own biggest fan.
Oh, my God. Can I show you?
Oh, wait, I'm straight. I just saw the crack of his ass. Is that you or Pee-wee?
That is me, Gene.
See, that's not funny to me at all.
Okay, good.
No, it's so impressive.
Yeah, okay. Well, thank you.
Well, it takes a leap of faith to say, no, I am somebody.
Yeah.
Also, when somebody's plugging your asshole, they know, oh, it's this guy in fucking.
Yeah, for
Just
sure.
a reminder, which one is, it's like, but
Yeah.
who else would be on your body?
Very, very few people.
It doesn't, other people don't matter.
Yeah.
The greats of all time, I don't know if you know Tyson, I consider him a friend. When you have a point of view about yourself, it's not about logic.
It's about delusion.
You have to have the loose screw, because if you took a look at, never mind making fun of the voice, his arms were too short. He was too short. He was not a heavy guy. He was nowhere near a heavyweight. He decided before he walked the tightrope that he was not going to fall off, the way all champions do. They psych themselves, I'm going to get it, I'm going to do it. Most people just say, I don't know if I could do it, because it's like, never mind, you will, you're contributing to your own demise. So purely by force of will, he became Mike Tyson. Of course, there's hard work and all that. Why would I show up and start talking about somebody else? I'm so fascinating. Look at how they misspelled my name.
Yeah,
Steve.
I love it. All right, we got to wrap it up, Gene. I knew this was going to be a blast.
Can I just tell you that it was a pleasure to talk to me?
I concur. And I got
most impressive thing about this is this.
Thank you.
How old were you when you did that?
I was 28, I think.
But still, you were in the haze at that time. Yeah. You don't need that.
I don't need it.
I could understand. By the way, I'm not here to bury. No, that's another story. By the way, you notice how my hand doesn't shake. Yeah. You can be 75, and if you don't use this stuff, you won't have to. Try running a car by pouring sand in it. It's not going to work. I would understand if drugs and alcohol and cigarettes and all that make your schmeckle bigger, you got richer, you ran faster, kept you trim, better looking and all that. Nothing happens.
Yeah.
You don't get more chicks, you don't make more money, you don't get more fame. Nothing happens.
Yep. And in our cases, actually, bad things happen. So
I didn't even want to go there. I'm just talking about the glass half full.
Yeah.
You could almost understand the bodybuilders, and I don't support it, go, yeah, if I take this, what is it called? Steroids. Yeah, then I'll get bigger muscles. By the way, your cock shrinks when you do that. It's not even a joke.
Yeah.
I know that firsthand because it doesn't fill my mouth when all that. See, that was a visual. But that's actual fact. As these guys get bigger, their schmeckles get smaller. Why would you do that?
Right.
I just wanted to leave you on that note.
Right.
Great.
Hey, man.
Love it.
Dude, I love it. I love you, Gene.
Yeah, this was awesome.
Fantastic. And there you have it, folks. He's known as the Demon, Gene Simmons from Kiss. What can you say about him? He's very unapologetic in his whole approach to life. And I think I could stand to be more like Gene Simmons. You know, I've been all like self-conscious about people complaining that I promote my merch too much. I haven't even been promoting my merch. And I think Gene Simmons might have helped me shake that off. Plus, check this out. Like, with my hot sauce, we wanted to be able to maybe grow the business. And with the word butthole, that's like not like necessarily helpful. So we created new labels where it doesn't have the word butthole. And we might be phasing out the word butthole, but there's still some left on Amazon, and they might be the last ones ever. So if you want to get Steve-O's hot sauce for your butthole, go to Amazon, man. And if you want to just have hot sauce, it's the same exact hot sauce, and it's awesome. Plus, we have jalapeno now. Steve-O's Heavenly Jalapeno hot sauce. And there you go. I just unapologetically promoted that because Gene Simmons gave me the confidence. I love you for sticking around to the end. Thank you so, so much.